So here's a picture. I just want to show you is the battery right now is showing done. Okay, and I'm still going. I got. I'll flip it over in a second here, but honestly, here, hold on. Where are we at? 64 kilometers. Still going. I still got power, and there's lots of power, and yet. Where are we back here? So voltage, 61 volts still, and yet the battery's done. So the question is, why? I've tried various different settings, but it doesn't seem to monitor that battery properly. I kind of thinking that, the LCD3 was not designed for 60 volt batteries. It was designed up to 48 volt batteries, and something's not registering properly. Anyhow, we're going to keep going. I want to find out where the BMS battery monitoring system kicks the power out, and we'll get a feel for what the low voltage cutoff is that way. And probably the best way to monitor this is just look at voltage. When this thing was fully charged the first time around, second time around, 12 hours, the voltage read 70 volts. So, and right now I've been riding, like I said, for quite a bit, and we're at 61 volts. I think we got a ways to go yet. And yeah, we'll add more in a bit. Talk to you later. Bye. There, you can see the moose is right on the water's edge, right there, little wee speck. Yeah. Yeah, so there it is, 61.3 volts, and take a look, the battery's empty. So, yeah, here we are. So what we're going to do today is see if we can't get the bike to have the low voltage cutoff cut in and stop the power. See, and then mark the spot at what voltage that all starts to happen. Because honestly, the battery indicator on the 60 volt bike through the LCD3 is pretty much useless. Yeah, really is. You got to go by the voltage. But in order to do it properly, so you don't screw up your battery, you need to cut it off before low voltage cutoff. That's the safest, best way to do it. So anyhow, that's what we're gonna try and do today. Later, bye. Wow. So just got back from 15K spin, trying to find the LVC cutoff. Guess what? I did. Finally did. Yeah. Are you ready? For a 60 volt system on this bike, the LVC is 54.5. So that's the spot where, you can't push it any further. It's time to charge the battery up. But 54.5 got me. Hold on, I'll just check. Okay, hold on. Okay, we're just going to do a quick check here. Oh yeah, there it was. One more. 77.9 kilometers. All right. Now the thing of it is, though, I'll tell you something else. So the voltage right now is sitting at 59.7, but I discovered it's 54.5 because when I go full throttle, it obviously drops the voltage down about 4 or 5 volts. And every time I did it about 5 or 6 times, every time I did it, 54.5 was where the power kicked out. So I know that's the number. And it's also nice to know that, when you're at 59 volts, let's say, you still got a lot of power there. You probably go another 5, 6, 7 kilometers. Anyhow, need to know, because take a look, there's the battery. It's been empty for the last I don't know, 30, 40 kilometers. Honestly, just doesn't work. Later, bye. All right, so on KT-LCD3, and there's my working papers for all the different settings. In any event, for this 60-volt battery, bottom line is the battery indicator, the 4-bar indicator, doesn't work worth a damn on a 60-volt battery. I'm quite sure it works fine on 48 volts, but on a 60-volt battery, the bars are gone. My goodness, after 25, 30 kilometers, they disappear. So you really don't know where you're at. However, you do know where you're at because there's voltage. And the LCD3 shows the voltage. I think it's on screen 3. And so here's the information that I discovered. Hey, I'm not an expert on this stuff, but just a few observations. So like I said here, 4.2 volts is full charge per cell. Most articles I read say 3.0 volt is an absolutely empty battery, and as the word says, that's bad. So when I charged this up before, if you take, there's 16 cells in a 60 volt battery. So 4.2 times 16 comes in at 67.2 volts to a full charge. Now, when I charged it twice for 12 hours, each time I got 70.45 volts. But my big thing was, okay, so if I can't trust the battery indicator, here's the numbers. I need to know when the low voltage cutoff comes into play. And today I discovered it, went for a 15K ride and did full power throttle, quite a few times to see what would happen. And I was sitting at 59.5 volts. This kicked out. I did it 5 times, I guess. It kicked out at 54.5 volts. So I know for a fact that on this particular setup, this battery, 18 amp hour battery, on this controller or this display, 54.5 volts is the low voltage cutoff, which actually ends up being 3.4 volts per cell. My recommendation, hey, it's just me, take it for what it's worth. I recommend, I wouldn't go much below 58 volts before I would recharge this 60 volt system. But I'll tell you one other thing. Well, let me come back to you here in a second here. Oh, just if you want to see, here's the, let's go this way. Here's the different settings. I used Bolton's recommendations, and I made 2 or 3 changes in a couple of different areas. But generally, if you go with what you might see there, it seems to work pretty darn good. Anyhow, coming back to you in a second. All right, we're recording, I think. Yeah, looks like it. Anyhow, hey, that's the numbers. So just like I said, it's really good to know because you can't trust the bars. So what the heck? Find out what the number is. It's 54.5 volts, and I can show you my backward sheet again. No, I did that once before. It didn't work so well. So anyhow, it's starting to warm up. Today was cold. It was only 8 degrees Celsius, and it was cold riding for 15 kilometers. I had to finally come in. That was enough. Anyhow, yeah, coming up some road tests shortly on the EMX Extreme 60 volt dual motor. Totally recommend the dual motor, man. If you kick that second motor in and you got 160 Newton meters of torque. Fantastic, and it goes. But there's a trade-off. Hey, it sucks a lot more wattage. I've actually seen the number. If I'm not mistaken, it was about 2200 watts full throttle with both motors going. So takes the power. Hey, cheers. Talk to you later. Y'all have a good day and see you down the road. Bye now.